This is Due by Friday, a weekly challenge podcast with Alex Cox and Merlin Mann. This week's challenge, track stuff in an LLM.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I love when you start the show with a little, audible jig. I guess singing is another word for that.
Yeah. Well, it was not on purpose. I'm running late, which I know, and I apologize. But I'm involved in some pretty important work right now. And I was
Would you care to elaborate?
I mean, I wouldn't have brought it up if I wasn't open to it. That would be weird. I have a secret.
Is this good for a show?
I make a dookie in me poopy pants. We talked about something that in my world we call the apparatus last night on RecDiffs. Mm-hmm. RecDiffs is a podcast. The apparatus is something on the exterior of a multi-unit residence near my house that I've become very interested in over time, that I photograph a lot. Have you ever seen the apparatus?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I don't know.
Wow, you don't follow me on Blue Sky. All right. Sorry, continue.
Should that be what this anecdote's about? Should we do that? Would that be better for the show if we make that with the end? Oh, I'm sorry. What did you post about the apparatus on Blue Sky? I did miss that. I don't check it every second of the day. I woke up half an hour ago. Please, Alex, by all means, please upbraid me about how I missed what you had to say about the apparatus.
Let me see.
Okay.
What
Hey, everybody.
It was. Oh God, this app is still so bad.
Huh. Okay, good. I'm glad we settled that. Oh,
the
my
apparatus means a lot to me. It's the emotional anchor of recording focus mode. And I quote tweeted.
Oh, when did you? Was it this morning?
Pictures. Oh no, it was a few minutes ago.
Well, I would have.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So anyhow, Syracuse, I'm happy to say, and this won't come out for 9 days because that's how we record, but he's the one who brought it up because I guess he'd been inspecting it. And as somebody who has been to college for things like this, he had some interesting insights about it. And so then we talked about it last night. And then, because I don't know if you saw the latest photos, it's been up for about a year and a half. And it's not only does it show a lot of signs of being a prank, but now it's starting to actively decay and rust.
Yeah.
The latest one, it's got these, we're calling them Tatooine arms. It looks like something that you would sell to Watto. Not to Watto maybe, but maybe to the Simon Pegg character. Half portion. They just look like little Star Wars bars. Anyways, it's a different show, and I'm sorry my scooter's turning off.
Oh, poor guy.
I hate that it does that. I really wish I could turn that off.
Oh.
Okay, so anyway, this morning I went up and I did a couple things. I took some detailed photos of the Tatooine arms, and I also took a video to give John some sense of place. I could say, look down here. That's where Walgreens used to be. Look down there. That's right where we had a photo taken one time. And here's the apparatus, just to give him some context. So we're going to keep doing scholarship on that, but can you understand how that's pretty exciting for me?
I'm kind of sad about the rust. Why?
Well, but don't you think it's kind of part of the performance in some ways? Because it does really look like a prank.
It does.
There are people who have, in the past, been kind enough, people who sound like they know what they're talking about, have been kind enough to chime in on like what they think is going on with this thing. And a lot of people say it's a sprinkler system thing. Some people say something involving vent, HVAC, but definitely something that moves in tubes. But then even the people who know about it, one guy was like, I used to work in a museum, and the one we had for an entire museum was smaller than this, and B, it was never located outside.
Yeah, it has what I thought to be a charm in its prank.
Oh, hell yes.
And then, I don't know, along the way, maybe it was when the wall was painted blue.
Yeah, it changed things. Yeah.
Something happened. I don't know. Vibe shift. Ooh.
Yeah. I just sent you one this is from yesterday, just to give you an idea. And those are what we call the Tatooine arms. I'm sorry, I've already taken us off our show. Do you want to start over? Should we start fresh? That wasn't a very good start on my part.
This is Due by Friday. I love the apparatus. Oh God,
That's less than 2 years, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a malicious
Well, let me give you,
prank.
as long as you're into the project, I didn't realize you were into the project. This excites me.
I'm sorry. Wait, when was the test and drain tag
I have to
added?
go back. I have to go back through my archives. Oh,
That is
these
not
are
in
raw, so they
mine.
might be
Ooh.
big. Okay, here's 2. Yeah, it's a good question, but like here, I'll show you. Try and find you. Oh, this is not good for this podcast, is it? Is this really bad?
No, this is due by Friday.
I know it's due by Friday, Alex. I just want to make sure it's something that'll be useful to you. And okay, so here's the earliest one I had, I think, which is from, I think it's like November 2023, maybe. And you can see how the Great Expectations here. Anyways, what else is happening? Hey, everybody, it's due by Friday. And I get excited about things. You know, I love projects. Did you know that about me?
Oh, I've heard. What are some new ones? I feel like you haven't elaborated on a new project in a while.
For real?
Yeah, no, genuinely.
okay,
Haven't
sure.
heard about your 3D printers in a while. You've kind of incorporated, you know, the, I forget what you call Chatty G now, so people don't get mad, into, almost feels like it's no longer a project. It's just
we're gonna talk
part
about
of
that.
the process.
We're going to talk about that. That's I feel that is germane to just slightly beyond the scope of the project today, but still in the project. I think that's one of the things. Really, what I want to talk about with Chatty G today is a large, well, whatever you want to talk about, plus something you texted me. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about what we can figure out about differences in memory since the beginning, because that's what's, I think, kind of what it keeps me hooked on this thing is the memory part, really. Anyway, that was just an idea, but no, it's just that part's germane.
All right, I'm, as you know, and make fun of me for, I'm going back and slowly transcribing all
So you can hear what your
of
voice
our
sounds like over
episodes.
time.
Yeah, no.
And then people can have a bot to interact, and they can tell you if your voice sounds different over time.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
And they can and they can give star
the-
ratings on how they liked interacting with the bot Alex from just one side of a conversation.
That would be cool, but no, that's
That would be
more
cool.
expensive.
Okay.
This
What's your less
stupid
expensive option you're working on right now?
$0, but you know,
Is that
it's
the name of the project? Because that doesn't really describe what you're doing.
$0. That's no.
You know what? Actually, I don't super care. So go ahead. Go ahead. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
That's why I don't talk about you. But
Yeah,
I'm
'cause it doesn't make a
transcribing
ton of sense.
episodes.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
I know because I know context.
It's not me. Context. Due by Friday.
There's no context.
Due by Friday.
I'm trying to find. It's pre the new era and pre the surprise party you had for me, but really early on in some of our LLM experiments, you specifically, and then you got me into realizing the sort of sundowning aspect before any of the memory features.
Us or the dingus?
The dingus.
The dingus
And,
sundowning?
Yeah, it just couldn't
It's like after
remember.
4, you just don't want to schedule meetings and stuff.
Well, it just.
Well, that's what Jake
yeah.
Tapper and Derek Thompson said about the 46th president.
Oh, I remember that.
No, you
Oof.
didn't. It just came out this week. But what they did
No,
was
I'm saying I remember
Yeah.
the 46th
Oh, good.
president.
Oh, wow. That's good. All that education paid off. Catholic
I
art
know,
school
right?
and whatnot.
Right.
And but yeah, they would. I mean, it all but, at least the New York Times piece, all but used the word sundowning. It's just like, well, let's get his writers to keep his speeches real sharp and easy to read. Let's not have periods, and let's keep those short because he does better when he talks less. And we just don't want him to have to do any one thing. And sorry, this is an impression I got. The impression I got just from the 3 reviews of that book that I've read is that they were trying to minimize the amount of time that he had to do anything for very long in public. Because I think the implication is inevitably, he's Joe Biden, man. He's been saying weird shit forever. Like he's been famous since like the 80s for being kind of not choosing his words carefully or for sometimes being a little impulsive. It's only really in the post, The Onion, Joe Biden works on his car years. It's only post that era that we really started the rap Barack Obama period.
That's not funny. I like that.
I might have stolen that from Chapo, so I apologize.
I don't think so. No.
But that was sundowning. And yeah, actually Matt and I were talking about that and like how we're both getting like a little dumber at a certain time of day. I don't think it's full on sundowning, but other projects. I recently did a big cleanup of my office, and that has reintroduced me to some sub projects inside the office. I've been working on some carpet cleaning projects. I'll get the boring stuff out of the way. I got a new thing called a can crusher, which you can probably pretty much figure out the purpose of. It's a thing you mount on the wall, and it's just a big arm, and you put a 12-ounce aluminum can in there, and it smashes down to a fifth of the original size.
It's extremely, extremely satisfying.
All
My
you do,
dad
you just put
has
one little
this.
dent in it, and it goes straight down. You could choose, if you want to be a big strong man, you could not dent it, but you're probably going to end up tearing it off the wall because that's not what it's built for. So that's been great. And that project, for example, I mounted a thing on my wall. You know what? That's not a bad example. As quotidian of an example as that is, one of my known issues in this office for 14 years is it's in the bug tracker as aluminum cans accumulate. And even though I never said specifically, I'd love to have, of the space that empty aluminum cans take up at my office, I would like to reduce that by about 80%.
Oh.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but I got to bring some pieces together. I got to use my fancy Milwaukee drill, and I got to use my fancy Milwaukee bits, and I used my carpenter's pencil and a lot of pieces from other projects. I mounted that thing on the wall. I put the world's most basic brown grocery bag under it, and now I gotta just smash the can falls into bag. 20% the size of the original.
Can falls into bag.
Can falls into bag. It's right there.
Hello,
It's right under.
can
The
falls into bag.
thing is that, and this should be in the document, but really whenever you can in life, you can choose to work for or against gravity in any number of ways, and when you can find ways to work with gravity, you'll be better off.
Is it possible? I know it's making work for you, but would it be not possible because it is. Would it be probable that you might make a little GIF or a little video of your can crusher?
Oh, sure. Would you like that?
I really want to see.
I can do it on the break.
Can go into bag.
Make a reminder. Oh, can't go. It's not quite automatic yet. I haven't Rube Goldberged it yet. I haven't turned it from a project into a liability yet. Project into liability. Write that down. Because that's really where I'm a Viking. I'm pretty good. What else have I been doing? I have lots of other stuff. There's been things at home. Oh, I mounted a Scottish board at home. I think I told you that with the help of Chatty G.
No, wait. Is that the whole board?
Yeah, the IKEA thing with holes in it.
Board. Ooh.
But and I haven't gone into it because nobody cares, but like the reason I was getting help from Chatty G was it was in a part where the wall's kind of weird. It's not drywall. It's like old masonry. And old masonry, we called them. And so I got its help, but I also was able to leverage the fact that there's a tiny little wainscoting like edge right at the bottom. So I was able to like have the Scottish board not only be drilled into the wall, but have the little lower feet resting on the wainscoting.
Does your family appreciate the amount of times you?
Jesus Christ, no. No. It's okay. I'm learning to develop. I think my family would like to take the relationship with me and do. I just invented this term. I call it an annulment in place. Like you're fine to be here for now. I also discovered a neat way to turn the little cardboard, like every roll of filament from Bamboo, the company, has this little cardboard center on it. That's where the RFID code is. And I found out how to turn those into little jars. So I made little jars. Oh, I printed out a Pope. I was thinking of sending it to you. I printed out a really cute little Pope.
Ooh, the current Pope or your idea of a Pope?
THE Pope.
Oh.
Is this your first time dining at THE Popes? We do things a little bit different here. Would you like to see the wine list? Give it a minute. Because you see, you go to THE Popes and they ask if you want to see the wine list. Mm-hmm. And they bless it at the table. It's called a table blessing. Title.
I'm writing a lot of things down.
Michael Rizzi. Let's see. I'm writing down. You remember that, right?
Yes.
I got lots of other things, but I'm having a lot of fun. I've been working on my Roomba. I've been doing that. I melted my carpet cleaner accidentally.
Oh, okay.
I put in
How?
water. I put in water too hot. And
That
now,
was less exciting than I
well, it wasn't working. I was on the floor. I got carpet cleaner and a little cheapy home carpet cleaner that I use at home. And I brought it to the office because woof, some of my high traffic areas. It's really neat. It's got a reservoir on one side that you put water and their carpet cleaner stuff in, and the other side it sucks up all the gross stuff. And it's just like you've seen probably, but it helps in order to understand this. It helps understand that it's a little handheld thing with a hose that attaches it to the dingus. And you squirt water / detergent as you move the brush back and forth. So it's a combination of like a scrubber, a wetter, a scrubber, and a vacuumer all in one. And it's deeply, deeply satisfying to use. But then I flew too close to the sun, and it was not boiling water, but it was very hot water, and it stopped working while I was on the floor, laying on my side. I was prone. And vacuuming and stopped working. I go, huh. Ooh. And I look over, and the reservoir had partly melted and was warped because I put in water too hot. Hot water burn, baby.
I think this is an against gravity situation. Cleaning,
Oh,
cleaning
sure.
the carpet. Yeah.
A lot of people fight gravity don't know they're fighting gravity. A lot of folks don't know
exactly.
that. They don't know it. They don't know it.
Very problematic. All of this feels like it should be on the Home and Garden channel in the way that the Home and Garden channel should exist. Have you ever considered pitching them? Maybe. I'm sure you've got many contacts over there.
I do.
Being like, yes, hello, sir. I am the power putterer.
I get contacted by a lot of people about a lot of projects, especially in the fast TV and ad-supported space. I get a lot of interest from people. I tell you what intrigues me. I watch a lot of premium cable documentaries, including a lot of cult shows. And as you know, well, I don't know if as you know, let me put it in I statements. I think it's always interesting because I guess for a certain part of my life, up to a certain point, whenever I saw somebody being interviewed in a room in an intimate, personal way, I guess I just always assumed that was their house. Like again, I was talking about this on Rectus last night about how I love that documentary about R. Crumb, and like you go to R. Crumb's house, and you go to his brother's house, and you go to his mother's house. Well, his brother's house is his mother's house. He's got a lot of issues, but you know what I'm saying. And it's like this is or Grey Gardens would be another. Grey Gardens actually, woof, too good. Because you haven't heard what I'm going to say yet, but this is what does she say? I think this is the costume of the day, or whatever she says. But then you watch. So think about. I want to say Twin Flames. What's the one with the girls that I'm attracted to and the mummy woman with the Christmas lights? Love is God.
Oh,
Start with love.
Mother
I come
God.
first. I come first.
I know her name is Mother God, but I always forget
that one. Okay,
title.
but when they interview those people, Errol Morris style, sometimes, or a lot of times, especially in music documentaries, you think about back to Behind the Music or any of that shit, where you'd see like somebody sitting in a room full of candles, like it was a fucking video by the Police, and you're like, does Ozzy Osbourne really live in a room full of candles? That doesn't seem wholesome. So what I'm asking is, and I wonder if you know this, when they shoot people in premium cable documentaries today, here's my guess. My guess is that's an Airbnb.
Almost all the time. I mean,
okay, so do you actually know about this, or are you speculating? Because if you know about this, okay, can you tell me what you know about this and when it changed?
It's not that it changed. It's kind of always
Grey Gardens, I think, was where they lived.
Supposedly,
and the hot chick in the cult, I'm pretty sure, is in an Airbnb. So if we take that as a continuum, or as you say, spectrum, at what point did we start just shooting people in places that absolutely weren't where they lived for reasons other than they're wanted by the Chinese government?
It depends on the subject of the documentary and the access you have to subjects. All of those.
Okay, so you don't actually know.
No. I do, because I have rented out various places. You want to be able, let's say you have someone and they just have not just an uninteresting apartment, but it would be really difficult
getting lights in and stuff.
Yeah, and have the crew there, and like you've got kids coming in and out. Like
Absolutely.
If you have,
well, let alone
yeah.
you live in a hovel.
Yeah.
I
and
think that
sometimes
if
that
it's not
hovel is
important, if it's not
interesting.
coming up from the point of the thrust of this non-anecdote, I'd do an HGTV show as long as it gave me somebody else's house to fuck with.
Yes,
I don't want a photograph in my house.
You would just
My
putter,
wife would hate
putter
that.
about. Yeah. Well, I mean then that project becomes a liability. So
Unless
unless
I start having an affair with a skinny blonde girl from another show, which I think is an HGTV thing I read about.
yeah, but
And then you keep doing the show. Your hit show's such a hit.
Yes.
You've got something like pump this house or flip the brakes or whatever, and like there's some show, but it's so popular that you have to keep doing it with your divorcee. That's what I heard happened on one of those popular shows where they flip things.
I mean,
I've never watched HGTV
I gotta
except when it was
say it's pretty
accidentally on.
impressive. Yes, it's.
I've never seen Below Ships. I've never seen any of the Housewives. I've never seen any of those things. So if you could work, would you want to be, let me put this differently. If I pressed you into service on something like a project like this for basic cable, what do you see your role being? Would you be like the executive producer? You'd be hiring the other
absolutely.
people.
Well, yes, I would not be doing any of the work, but I would
No,
have.
because I
a
won't either. It's not
ton
fair to
of-
ask you to work if I'm not working.
No. However, it's going to look like I'm doing.
I'll just be
lot of
showing up.
work.
I'd be like Julia Child without Julia Child. I just show up and then like throw some ingredients in a bowl and there's a finished dish. Like if it were a cooking show, like that, but for cooking or but for projects.
Yes. Well, exactly. You are puttering about doing your own thing, kind of like Bobby from the Fab Five. There's only 5 of them, right? Right. And you,
They
you know,
replaced him, which bums me out.
did they really?
He quit.
Oh,
Yeah, Bobby, my favorite one quit.
I mean, it seems like
They
he
have a
got
new,
kind
even
of a
handsomer
shitty
guy, but
deal.
Bobby was my favorite.
No, he was the best.
I could
He
tell
did not
Bobby.
step
I guess
foot in the
Bobby was your
church.
favorite too because of his tortured
Yes.
relationship with the Lord.
Yes.
Remember when he goes to the choir practice?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And he just wouldn't go in the church, and it was
didn't
so
wanna go in
upset.
the
And
church,
he
yeah.
wouldn't go in the church. But you,
So he became a
would-
woodworker. Somebody who
You're-
works
you're-
wood, Alex.
I wasn't.
Wood. Bobby.
I'm maturing. I am growing. I'm not thinking about bobbing on any woodwork.
Well, I think a pun about
behave.
wood is fine. I don't like it when you talk about cum.
First of all, I'm never.
In my defense,
I haven't brought. This is not. This
you
is
talk about
not
cum
an offense.
every episode. You find some way to you imply cum. You imply cum.
I engage with conversations.
Mm-hmm. You're summa cum
when it's
laude.
brought up, but even
You're easy cum, easy
when
go.
the word,
Did you miss summa cum laude? Did you miss that one?
even I have
You're Alan
no idea.
Cummings.
I'm
You're cum see, cum saw.
no. Even when the word
French.
"come" has come out of my mouth,
Oh, not
it
the
is
wrong
in
way.
reference to cum gutters, not the ejaculate itself,
gutters.
but where the ejaculate goes.
Yeah,
And
right.
Yeah, I think it's an important reservoir. I need to.
You're talking about making a cummy tummy.
Well-
You peel it off like paste when you're in, elementary school.
ew.
Well, how do you get it out of the gutters? Because you're the one who want to talk about cum.
Well, that's the thing. From what I
How much
understand,
cum you seen?
that's the
How much cum you
gutters.
seen in a person?
Well, what do you?
What do I? Please don't say what do you call cum. Please don't say that.
exactly. You.
I mean the ejaculate that comes
We've
out
established.
of
We've established on this
You're the one who want to
show.
talk about cum.
No.
I hate
gutter.
talking about cum, and you keep bringing it up.
Structural. No, the structure that may or may not hold it. So, most of the time, I imagine
Gutters don't hold water.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's briefly a reservoir.
Oh, it's like
though.
where Michael Stipe says, when you throw something away, where is away?
Exactly. I'm not interested in where it goes. I'm just
It's how it goes.
Yes.
Nobody asked How's Waldo.
Where's the bell? I keep moving my bell.
I don't
That's the
care.
problem with cleaning this desk.
It's fun talking to you.
Fuck. Oh.
I love projects. We could get to the challenge. We could see. Was there anything else that was really fun that we were talking about? Man, this thing's so rusted, and like these arms, it looks like there's. Oh my god, this thing. I've been texting with. That's the reason I'm late. I went and I photographed this, and I've been videoing this, and I was having fun talking to my friend about this, and. The the thing I said right before I hopped on with you is like, I think a lot of the decisions about how they put the apparatus together, look in particular. Okay, so like this is the main point of controversy right now. Do you have the apparatus nearby?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Which photo am I looking at?
Oh, really? Any of the ones that are close enough for you to see? Do you see, like in the recent ones when the wall's blue, do you see ones where there's like a red cap on a fire hose size thing on the left?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
get a picture that's got a... Did I give you one that's a pretty good view? Let me get you a really good one here. They're close up. You can see. Yeah. So the penultimate one I sent you, right? The second to last one I sent you. Do you see how you've got this weird, goddamn, like, do we need this many things joining pieces of pipes together? Okay, fine, whatever. It makes this vertical thing. There's an offshoot to the left, our left, that then turns into like an L thing. It's got some weird junctions, and it ends at a thing that says SPKR, which I hope means sprinkler, but I don't know. And then above that is another diagram. And do you see the two Tatooine arms? Do you see those two things that are like with bolts in the wall that are attached to the vertical part on the left above the fire hose part?
It looks like if you tapped them, they would just crumble
What are
to
those?
dust.
Okay, but assuming those worked flawlessly, assuming those have a function and aren't rusting away, what is the role of those two arms?
I'm trying to see whether or not the arm on the bottom that attaches to the wall, it doesn't.
And just so you know, the
it's
one on
just
the left
drilled
does
in.
too. The one on the left does it. It just does that on that north wall instead of the west wall.
So is there any? Is there like
Is there anything
spigot
behind
between-
there also helping hold it up? Is that what you're asking? Are you asking if this multi-dozens of pounds is being, quote, held up? It's not. Those things have a little ring you can see. So it appears that it's just for side-to-side stability, maybe?
I thought
What I
like,
said to John
surely-
was,
surely
there's several-
it can't.
The point is what I said to John, and this comes directly out of experience. I said to John, it looks like there was some design, there's some design decisions. What did I say exactly? I said, it's something like it looks like a lot of the decisions that they made about building this are the reasons why a lot of tree houses fall down.
Yeah.
Like not like a nice Kelvin one, but one where you're like me and you've got like some leftover 2x4s and some boards, and you think that you can make some kind of like not a cantilever exactly, but you think you can like, oh, I'll nail this one to the branch up here on the right, and I'll nail this one to the trunk, and then that'll help hold the branch up, and then you know what I mean, where it's like, no, that's not how loads get distributed. This does not look like I'm so sorry. I love this apparatus to death, and I'm going to say something a little hurtful. This does not look like an apparatus that has been designed with those kinds of best practices in mind.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, when they made a drawing of this, and let's say it was during COVID, they had a little extra time, somebody bought a sketchbook, and they started drawing an apparatus they wanted outside of their house. Do you think this is what it looked like in conception?
I'm actually
I'm thinking
thinking
not.
a lot of it, like if you see the very first photo you sent me was I think the one you've sent me again, and it's almost like, yes, the structure was there, but then perhaps just building it, there was a little bit of a lean, and it was like, okay, surely we'll just
So it was
up
an
like this.
after design correction, maybe.
Right, and a bit of there's that dinghy on the front. It has a like gold stripe on it, and it's tilted on the side. Like that.
Dinghy on the right. Which photo are you looking at?
It's in the middle. It's obscured. In
one
fact,
of the
I
blue
don't even know if
tubes?
it's there. No, it's on in the last picture you sent me.
Okay.
Towards the beginning
original.
of the
That's
apparatus.
the original. The original
Yes,
from
yes.
yeah.
So is that the stuff sticking out from the bottom, like in the middle of the bottom, that black and gold thing, is that still there? And I'm just not seeing
Yes.
it because it's rusted? Okay.
Let me see.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm also growing and learning.
The kind of carburetor looking thing.
Yes.
Wait, that's
that
a
is
good
the
quote. Wait, hang
word.
on. You might be right. It looks like, huh? Oh man. Now the thing is, am I making fun of them or is this a prank on me? And could it be both? Also, what happens when that bell rings? The implication is John's suggesting I really don't want to find out.
No.
The speculation we're having in our private text channel is when that bell goes off, someone is supposed to do something about something. And I just won't know if it's me until it rings. And when it rings and I go, ha, now I know what my true purpose was. This is the project of projects. I serve the apparatus. Look how much cleaner it was at first. That was when I very first got on Mastodon. This is my first funny thing on Mastodon that people seem to like and I like doing. And so that was about a year and a half ago. And look how clean everything is.
Oh, well, I think I'm a bit of, I have some like rustism because, you know, the original apparatus.
Because of that Alex Baldwin movie.
It's before it looked like Tatooine arms, it kind of just looks like they didn't look that out of place, you know? Like, you really got to zoom in.
It's how, like, you can be ugly when you're young, but, you know, when you're ugly when you're older, then people really think you're ugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can have cigarettes for a while.
In the pants? You can have cigarettes for a while.
I think the most... Well, but then, you know, you get some Tatooine skin and it just starts crumpling, yeah. Your body starts looking like water.
We'll save the slave boy, but we'll leave the slave woman. We'll leave Shmi to the Tusken Raiders, I think. Hey, so Anakin, good news and bad news. Anyway, good news, you're coming with us. Bad news, no Shmi for you.
Yeah,
I also wrote something down that I saw, and this is a good transition into the tech portion, I think. Did you see the new shortcut thing for capturing what's happening right now?
No.
Okay, let me find this. It was I was in probably, I want to say 9 to one of the Shovel blogs talked about this yesterday. And I had not heard about this. You know, well, I mean, I guess the whole point of all these, you know, coming soon rumors, Minchi Kuo bullshit, you know, titular rumors. But they added a new thing in iOS, and it's a shortcut. Damn it, where did I read this? I gotta go to read. I'm sorry, Alex. I should have prepared better.
No, that's all right.
It's a thing where you do. It's a shortcut that does kind of a neat thing where you can. I'm so mad at myself right now, but I'm not going to make this hard to edit. Apple's brilliant new shortcut helps you capture ideas before you forget them. And look for a new shortcut called Hold That Thought. And I'll send you a link.
So, but a brain one, not a lady, huh?
What? What does that mean?
A thought. The thought never.
A thought is a lady?
Well, it can
a bell
be
is a cup until it's struck. But a lady is a concept until she's shorted? You talking about Siri? What are you talking about?
No. If you hold a thought, like I would ask first. Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a consent
if you
joke.
want.
Okay. It's called Siri. Hey Siri, hold that. Never mind. Hold that thought. Okay, so here's the article. This is from BGR. I discovered this in Apple News, so I don't know if this will work for you, but I'll send you this link. You know, there are some things about Reader that I wish were a little bit different. How do I? Okay, I got it here. Everything's under triple dots. You should find Apple's brilliant new shortcut, bgr.com.
Yes.
Or the shortcut you got open.
But wait, with the first has prepared.
Everything's under triple dots. Copy original, copy document URL. I'm clicking, I'm pasting. Okay, here's what it says. Run the shortcut, select capture. To capture a screenshot of what you're doing, any calendar events in the next hour, the current open web page in Safari, and clipboard contents. You'll then be prompted to write short notes about what you are doing. And this is under accessibility. This is for new neurodivergence. You'll then be prompted to write short notes about what you are doing and what you're about to do. Run the shortcut again and select recall to find the last created note with all that captured information. All notes will be saved with the title Hold That Thought and the date and time saved. Isn't that kind of an interesting idea? That seems like your shit a little bit.
Well, it kind of seems like your shit too, and it kind of seems like
tried it yet.
scooped it up from you. Really?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I don't need that. But anyway, did you see that? Isn't that kind of cool? Accessibility helps everybody.
Interruptions can cause you to forget the. I can't tell if this is like them. I like this very, very much. Okay.
But you're reluctant to use it until you understand what they're trying to get away with.
No, I'm
Are they harming
literally
you?
trying to install it right now.
Oh, that's a neurodivergence. Do you ask a friend to help?
I might not be divergent enough.
You need
is
a helper
what
monkey.
I'm thinking it. Yeah.
Oh, you're plenty divergent. I wouldn't worry
I'm
about
supposed
that.
to have an autistic monkey? Why would I? No.
I didn't say that. It would be spectrum monkey. What I said was helper monkey, like BJ has.
I see. BJ. Oh,
Dr.
almost
Watson.
get that. Nope.
Do you like that? You already would have seen it.
I know I haven't. I'm excited to see the monkey now, though.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on the monkey. Woo! Oh, BJ had a pole dancing accident, and he has to get a helper monkey.
Oh, poor guy.
Baby Lionel's eating dirt. God, I love that show. Anyway, I think that's kind of neat. And they announced other things too. I haven't super duper kept up with it. Boy, it's crazy. It's almost WWDC time again. We just got up to, X.5 releases. Boy, the year goes by fast, don't she? I mean, the Apple year, goes really fast.
I can't wait for it to be dubbed up 2021. It's going to be great. It does. I know that it's a bit online, but it kind of really does feel. It doesn't. It still feel like it is both 2020 and 2029. I don't.
Oh yeah. Did you read Gia Tolentino's thing recently? It finally broke my brain in New Yorker.
Oh no.
She does. I don't know. It's an unusual to me and a slightly unusual piece for her. But she's just. She's just talking about I don't know. You should just read it. But essentially, well, you know what? How about this? How about, in the interest of slap, because I know you guys love slap, whatever that means. Let me go see how Chatty G summarizes this Gia Tolentino.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Gia Tolentino is a writer that I like a lot. And Gia Tolentino writes for The New Yorker. And she wrote the Large Adult Sons piece several years ago. She's one of my favorite writers, and you loved her book.
Yes.
Okay.
Trick Mirror. What the fuck is?
What is happening with you? Can you just
said
calm
that
down?
I love slap. What is? Oh,
Slop.
are you saying slack or slop?
Not you, people.
Oh, I see.
You're finding a lot of ways to turn everything into something personal, and I don't think it's a turn on.
I'm just.
I mean, does that work? Does the other people go like, "Ooh, that's cool. That's cool." The way you make everything about you. My brain finally broke. The summary, according to Chatty G, is the author Gia Tolentino reflects on how overwhelming and confusing modern life has become, especially with the constant flow of disturbing news and fake images online. She feels a disconnect. She feels a disconnect from reality as language and meaning seem to. Ironically enough, this is not making that better. She feels a disconnect. Or you could say she feels disconnected, which would be fine, from reality, as language and meaning seem to slip away amidst the noise of technology. This opacity in her understanding is troubling, leading her to question the truth behind what she sees and experiences every day. So I think you'd like that piece. Gia Tolentino, check her out. You claim to like her book.
She might. She's going places. Especially
Large
her
Adult
book about
Sons.
about the Babysitters Club and Sleepaway Camp. Oh, notes.
Movie?
I don't know why
Talking
I'm
about the movie
saying
Sleepaway
notes.
Camp?
No.
Oh, you
Her
should never see the movie Sleepaway Camp.
Well, now I want to. Sleepaway Camp. What is this? What is? Oh, ooh.
It all comes down to the last shot of the movie, which is a lot to get through for this one shot. But yeah, you won't like it. It's bad.
Listen, I got through.
It was a different time.
Sleepaway
Camp.
I really like this poster. The poster.
Last shot of the movie, you find out the girl has a dick. And they show it.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Are you trying to sound like River Song when you do that?
No,
'Cause
although
you're supposed to say sweetie after it, and you
spoilers,
keep saying
sweetie.
spoilers.
Do you want me? Do you want me to say sweetie to you? Is this a roundabout way? Now you're making it about you.
I love doing a show with you, but I'd rather you never said anything to me.
Is
Is that
all right,
something we can work
sweetie.
out for the pro? Oh man. Okay. Well, I've tried to be careful with you because of all your issues. I have a lot of things I could call you that I don't.
Oh, I don't think we could get through an
I've experimented
entire.
with honey, and I've
Yeah.
experimented with sweetheart. Mm-hmm. I might stick with sweetheart. That's pretty good. Oh, sweetheart.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh.
Anyways, hey everybody, it's Due by Friday. Thank you for tuning in. And should we do the challenge, such as
Yeah,
it is?
sweetie, it was your challenge this week.
Okay. And it was too, and I didn't do the challenge qua challenge, but I'm doing my usual conceptual thing with it that I hope will be interesting. Challenge this week is to track stuff with your LLM of choice. As we discussed on the after show last week, this is something, I speak for myself, something I like to do. I've started really getting into the idea of tracking physical objects. Like, I want you to learn everything, including the serial number and how much it costs. I want you to learn everything about my computer. I want you to learn about my Synology. I want you, in this case, I want you to remember what model of Bissell carpet cleaner I have. There's those kinds of things that, you can track. But then there's notional things that you can track. You can track conceptual things, which in my case include things like successful ChatGPT sessions.
Great success.
Great. Well, what are other ones for you? What are the kinds of things, without getting into the specific challenge, what are the other kinds of things you've been tracking up till now?
I have. Until now, it's interesting because it's like bits aside, it mostly became organic. Just I was.
Yeah, I don't
would say,
think about it that much. I
Yeah.
utilize it and I benefit, but I benefit hugely from what it can remember. Like big time. Yeah. But so not as overtly as the challenge would suggest.
Yeah, no, I did I put in a CSV of like all of my old Goodreads data, and I consistently upload my mood of my weird conceptual
That'll help with the bot that
mood
people evaluate.
chat. No, that's not.
They'll be
that's
able to
not
see in the
part of
sidebar whether it was a 3 or 4 day,
but
or if I'm being honest, a 1 or 2 day.
Recently, has this is post like its little glazing sycophancy peak era. It noted like I'll just ask it. What do let me open it up. How did I feel today? Today it seems like you were more positive about yourself than usual and were using less deprecating language. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And what I
Holy
did
shit, that's
was
wild, man.
used all of well,
I'm not being silly. That's impressive. I when you say it, it makes sense. But that wouldn't have occurred to me as a thing that it would just be doing that anyway. Which of course it is.
Oh, yeah. The thing that really broke through what kind of prompts most of my usage is knowing that for me, these are best at pattern recognition. And that's been a great success amongst any model I use.
Are you joking because I'm the Borat joke that I was making? Is that what you're doing? When you say
No, I stole it.
That's what my project is called, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, all right,
I
good.
stole it, and I
Great
said, great success. Because
I get Clack
I
Radio,
kept
he
saying,
get Clack Radio. I get Step, he gets Step.
It's
Remember Borat gets a Step?
It was getting a.
Watch out! All right, man. Just the first 15 minutes. Just the first 10, 15 minutes. It's really funny.
The first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. Like
I don't remember
it's
the
like,
end. How's it end?
Oh, it's good. Well, goes home and is
okay.
like, aha, you're dumb. And if I cared, I would remember.
Great success. Go ahead.
Fake fan.
Sorry.
Well, I didn't realize that it was getting a little full of itself because reflexively, I would just always say, "Oh, great, thank you," or something like that, and then I put it.
What? No, really?
Yeah,
It takes
well,
niceties
yeah,
as compliments. That's so sweaty.
Well, yeah. Think about how.
How am I? Oh my! Thank you so much for asking.
No.
How am I? Oh my goodness, I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Oh.
I would literally.
Good morning to you too.
I would say like good try, thanks, and realize that was kind of enforcing the shitty image generation that it was doing. You know how it, like, if you just put in a prompt with very little like just like a Pope meme.
If for example I said, please show several monks on the ground making a sand mandala of Nelson Mandela.
But I bet that
turned out
looks
really
nice because
but it's pretty
does
basic.
It
looks like I just said a photorealistic, but you're saying like the kind of generic results you get for something.
Yeah, but you saying photorealistic, there you go. Like if you say like do a drawing of,
I see,
or an illustration of, it's just going to have that weird gray or like a sepia tone almost, you know. And sort of at the end of the Ghibli craze, you could see that everything was becoming more sepia. And I'm really curious now as to why it's just becoming like it's increasingly brown. I don't know. So I would say like good try. Thanks, but good try. And it was seeing that as not
brown is such a funny phrase to me.
I don't know because of
how you been lately? If I'm being honest, increasingly brown.
It's my favorite noise. Notes. I need to make a list. You're a brown noise fan, right?
Brown's my
good
favorite.
one.
Yeah.
I'm not big on the whites.
I had to sit through somebody trying to explain
browns.
white versus pink versus brown. And I was like, oh god, you're describing this so badly. Here's the easiest way to describe it. Okay, here roughly speaking is white, pink, and brown noise. And want a description? Here's a written description. Mm-hmm. Right? Am I wrong?
No, I was.
White is too high to be great. Pink is ideal, especially if the higher ranges are what. Brown is great because it covers up voices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Voices and basic thumping, rumping. Like the noises of suburbia are greatly masked with brown noise, in my opinion.
Yes, that is why
I'll do it again. Wait, the last one sounded kind of familiar. No!
I'm having fun.
My favorite Darth Vader quote.
Talk about breathing. Oh, we have it on the show. I really like that article that you sent me.
Oh, wasn't that a great article? You responded with some commentary about the New York Times, and I just wanted you to read the article. I've read it 3 times. Isn't that a good article?
Yes.
And I want to actually, can we talk about that article maybe in the after show? Because I want to talk about an aspect of that it's easy to kind of fly by that I thought was, it's a New York Times. I'll note. Can you put this in notes? Can you be notes person, please?
Yes.
Thank you very much. But yeah, there's this, it's a really good article about a lot of stuff, us nerdy breathing types know about breathing, but how athletes use it. But there's something you can miss in passing. Real quick. Steph Curry does all these things. He's a basketball player here in San Francisco, and he's really good. Might be the best player in the league. And he's getting older, and he does all these warm-ups before. All this, he's famously superstitious, and he does all these kind of weird, like funny, compulsive things that fans love. But he's got all these different warm-up exercises, and I found out not only does he do different warm-up exercises that you can watch, what you can't see is he's also at the same time doing a different set of breathing exercises for each warm-up separately. So do you follow? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, don't you think that's kind of interesting? Like, you think about something breathing, like, oh, guess what? I discovered box breathing. Like, give me the Nobel Prize. No, he's doing different ones that he's been taught, and you don't even notice it because he's doing it while he's, like, on the rubber band trying to run away. That's my favorite.
I don't know what that...
Somebody holds a big rubber band, and he tries to run away.
Okay.
I think it's to help you get good at side-to-side fast motion stuff without falling down, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the big
One
rope
time he fell
like
off a cliff holding dynamite. Yeah. He bounced all the way to the bottom. He hit the bottom. It went... He hit the bottom holding the dynamite. The rubber band pulled him all the way back up onto the cliff. Believe it or not, at this point, the dynamite has still not blown up. But unfortunately, it was a very fat man holding the rubber band on the cliff, and the end of the cliff broke off, and they both fell down, and then the dynamite blew up.
This is a specific.
And then, of all things, an
Looney
anvil
Tunes
fell on him.
cartoon. Okay.
Just hearing that sound is funny to me.
Tell me about the oh god
That's
the
breathing.
messages are finally going through that I'm sending you just flat the browns. But what did you
Messages are going through. I'm
sending you the
just flat browns.
Yes.
Is that a Motown group?
I don't
Barry
claim that.
Gordy took all the credit for the
claim
record.
that.
The flat browns. That's pretty good. I'm gonna use that. Right. That's what I call my little poops.
Yeah. Ooh, if they're flat, I have to
What
imagine.
the hell is this? Oh, that's a joke, not something you made.
No. That
my
was
goodness.
just some. Yeah, and I'm trying to find.
Why is it an
the
elephant?
ones. I don't know. That's what I keep
Is he-
wondering.
Look how sad it is.
Marlon, will you please describe
No.
this meme?
No.
All right. Hey everybody.
everybody.
There's two. It's that like bad comic.
No,
AI.
Alex, honey,
What-
please.
what? Okay, sweetie.
This is
please,
for-
tell me what's wrong,
Alex,
sweetie.
this is for the Max and Us channel, not for here. Please.
Okay.
I don't want to talk
Okay,
about
sweetie.
this, okay?
All right, sweetie. I just feel bad for the elephant. I feel so bad for the autistic elephant.
I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good talking about that here.
The autistic elephant? What's wrong with an autistic elephant? This is. I don't feel good now
This will
knowing.
all be used against you in a court of law.
Okay. This is
The joke is not that funny. It's a meta
It's
joke.
not.
You're making fun of somebody else's sense of humor, and you're going to describe to our audience something that is going to get us feedback from people whose feelings were understandably hurt by even talking about it.
no. But if someone's, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk
by all
about
means, talk
the
about
people.
talk about the not at all funny cartoon of an elephant full of hypodermic needles wearing a button that says "I have autism." Please describe that to our audience, who will certainly find it extremely funny. And remember, I never wanted you to talk
upsetting.
about it.
It's so upsetting. Well,
What does it say on the TV in big letters?
Oh, that's a
See, this is a
TV. I
Max
just
joke.
thought
This
that
is not a
was
you joke. This is
this
like at
is-
least it'll make at least we'll have comedy again kind of joke.
I'm not gonna.
Scientists are mystified as to what is causing autism, says 4 lines of text on a 60-inch TV, and the elephant literally in the room. I don't know if you caught that joke. There's a baby elephant who looks sad. Oh, you didn't get the elephant in the room part?
I can't make fun of these people. I can't.
Did you get the elephant in the room part? You ever been to Arby's?
I didn't. Fuck.
And it has about 20 hypodermic needles in it, and someone has, I guess, I don't think an elephant could, let alone fill himself with hypodermic needles. He's wearing a large and oversized, like 6 or 8 inch diameter button that says "I have autism," and he's also got the hypodermic needles in it. Mm-hmm. Do you want to describe it to our listeners? Because apparently you think that it's funny not funny this is, but you didn't even understand why it's not funny.
I was going to mention
You're so
that the
perfect for this
idea-
project.
The idea of an elephant having autism is just
Right.
interesting, because how would you be able to tell? I would love to know how
Although, you know what the worst part is?
neurotypical.
I mean, the worst part of it is, honestly, it never forgets. It'll always have it, and it knows it.
Who knows?
Does it know that it's got the
Oh,
needles in it?
God.
Do elephants see mirrors?
God, it just looks so sad.
And the two
but
people, I wouldn't set my living room up that way either.
I thought that was just a sign.
It's not
in
a sign, that's a
therapist
television.
office.
No, that's an HD
yeah,
television that has 4 lines of text on it.
I also thought that the idea was like, oh, I'm talking to my therapist about my baby autistic elephant.
Did you think the
and I
lampshade is
didn't-
part of her head?
No.
Are there other
but
things that confuse
now
you
it
about the
looks
comic?
nice.
Are you about done talking about this funny comic now? That we
I-
had absolutely no
the
need to ever
idea-
discuss on the program?
I just think it's interesting that someone clearly put
You just
in
think
a
it's interesting.
description, and it
You're
has
very
this
dark
weird
gray pilled.
sepia dark.
You know what you are? You're increasingly brown pilled.
Dark gray pilled. Is that like center left? Dark gray.
Well, I
pilled.
abandoned that because it wasn't that funny. I was trying to go with something what's near being black pilled, but instead, what I'm going to go with is increasingly brown pilled.
I prefer that.
Then
would have
you
been,
could choose
that
at
would
this
have been
point
funnier.
to do the
That would have
program
been
instead
much
of trying to
funnier.
describe something that is by its nature not funny.
It's not fun. I think it's just interesting that
Why
it
do you think
has
it's
the
interesting?
because all the thing I sent you before, I one of my prompts is please
brown?
make a map of Chicago whenever there's a new model release.
This is not from that, right? This looks like it's from Instagram or something.
Yeah, no, that was just a meme someone sent me. Because I think Maddie sent this to me actually. Because turns out people also there's a certain type of person who doesn't want their dogs vaccinated. And there's a certain type of people who's just worried about their dogs becoming autistic. I'm like, how would you? Well, one, I don't know why that'd be bad. Again, two, no, that's not a thing. Three, how could you tell? How would you know if your dog was autistic? It's just, it's fascinating. But
At
not
this
as
point,
fascinating
I say with
as the
utter
beige-
confidence, I've given you every
Sweetie.
possible way out.
Sweetie,
It's not that funny,
we're
Alex.
out. Sweetie,
that's not that
it's
funny.
very funny that someone's like, oh
The
no,
sweetie
what if my
part?
dog is autistic?
No, because you don't have another joke, so you keep saying sweetie. So at this juncture, why don't you keep talking about
Another
what's funny?
joke? I didn't
What's
have
funny
any
about the
joke.
elephant autism
There's
comic that I
no-
begged you not to talk about? I gave you every opportunity. Now let's keep discussing it and why it's funny and not funny. Hey, Alex, how can you tell if your dog's autistic?
Exactly. That's not. It's not.
Oh, I thought
funny.
you'd have a
It's
funny
just-
answer to that
I
wouldn't
don't
offend
know.
anybody.
I'm not funny. I don't
Yeah.
do the bits.
And people with little kids, they take to occupational health appointments. They're going to want to put this on the wall. It's so fucking funny.
I bet someone does. Oh God, what did you track? Because I don't have sweetie. I don't have another
Alex,
joke.
come
Sweetie,
on.
come
Okay.
to Dubai.
Okay.
Come on. What?
I mean, do you want that to be a joke? Do you want that to be a bit? It's really not that funny.
what's
You keep saying sweetie over and over. Why are you doing that?
Because it gets your attention. It's kind of working. It's not a joke. It's not a
Okay,
bit.
what do you feel like doing now?
I want to hear about your tracking or whatever you did that you've mentioned. It was more of a conceptual challenge for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stumbled into realizing once again how good these things are at recognizing patterns and that
I don't have that much to say about it. This will be quick. Mainly, I think it's neat that I've said for a while now that I don't know if this is an explanation, an excuse, or something else, but just in terms of like something that helps me maintain some clarity about this, I think, is that I'm at this point, I'm not uninterested, and I'm certainly not disinterested, because if I were disinterested, that would mean that I don't have a stake in it, and instead I'm uninterested, which is the word you almost always mean. In the same way that you almost always mean raising the question instead of begging the question. But the thing is, I'm not uninterested in the entire world of LLMs and AI, but I am almost single-mindedly interested for selfish reasons in using versions of ChatGPT as my LLM. And I'll tell you why. Well, a huge one is like, you know what? I'm not like an enthusiast about tech. I don't fucking care at this point. I super don't care. I mean, I'm interested in seeing tech improve in the same way that I'm interested in seeing foreign relations and space travel improve. But like, I'm not following who has the good LLM this week according to scoreboard.io or whatever. I use this one. I don't look at other ones because I'll hear about it if I need to. But most saliently, real talk is the integration with my personal, not my personal data in the sense of future Apple stuff, but in the sense of it knows I've told it information expressly about me that I want it to remember, which it does. It's learned information about me sort of ambiently that it remembers, and in ways that it simply could not do 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 months ago, it is very good at seamlessly integrating what it knows about me into its responses. So an example might be, it knows I'll spend hours at a time trying to fix a problem on or something I just want to work better on my Synology. So like last night, I had ChatEG open, but I also had Prompt, BBEdit, and VS Code open at the same time, and was using ChatGPT with all three of them for different things, or sometimes it's the same things. Do you follow? So that's really a big deal. But even if I'm not currently integrated with a Mac app, it knows what I like and use. So I'll give you an example. I called this a request. I mean, that's kind of a dressed up way to say it. But somebody had mentioned, have you thought about putting out the Wisdom Project as a book? And I said, well, what I've done is I've sometimes outputted it as a Mobi or an EPUB. Like, would that help? And I've done that before. I had even made like a fake cover for it, like a really basic cover. But anyway, last time I did that, Alex, I did that with VS Code and some pretty crazy command line stuff that I was trying to run inside of VS Code. It's like, it's not Pandoc. It's like some kind of like ebook builder functionality, and it was pretty clunky and weird, but it worked. But I do have a lot of garbage in my repo now that I should probably get rid of. That was a long time ago. You know what I did? Let go and let God. I said, hey, Dingus, what's the easiest way on my Mac? What's the easiest way to turn a .md file into an EPUB? And it says, well, you love Mark II, so why don't you just use that?
I've got a hot tip. I have a hot tip.
Okay, it gets better.
If you don't have any ambient things, just already in its memory, give it a list of applications you use.
Yeah, possibly. I would be careful about giving it too much information. I mean, like, I would not do the anti-pattern with productivity apps is to start with just making a ton of tags and putting in fake information. I would go easy on it until you really know how it's doing it. Like, you don't want to give it so much stuff that it's like, well, and you've mentioned 60 applications. You're weird.
Right. You don't want an aspirational
So to just finish the thought, though, I said, yeah, you use Mark II and you like it. You could use that. And I was like, awesome. I went and opened it, as it turns out. And I did this. I didn't even say this. I did it with screenshots. I just took, I couldn't find an EPUB either at the bottom of the screen in that one mode or under export in another mode. So what did I do? I did a screen grab, and this sounds like I'm a terse Instacart shopper sending you photos of empty shelves. But all I did was take a screenshot of how it wasn't appearing either in the menu or on the rendered page thing, and I said, I don't see EPUB, and it says, it looks like you don't have EPUB in that version. Here's the fastest way. You use Homebrew. You use Homebrew. So here's one line to make sure you've got Pandoc, and here's another line to export this as an EPUB. I said, cool. Can I? And it says, and it offered to me. It said, because I used to have a GUI version of Pandoc a million years ago, but really you just go like, brew install Pandoc. That's pretty much it. Boom. And then I just CD over to wherever the location is. And another thing, I run into this a lot with the Synology and with this. You can tell it, hey, don't give me blah, blah text for what to enter in prompt. Put all my correct stuff in. Like, you know what my username is. You know what my working path, my PWD in this is. You know all these things. So always put the right stuff in. So that sounds dumb, but now it knows that, like, whatever, /me/desktop or /down, it knows where those are and knows how to like make that faster for me. I mean, I know you guys who like started out doing VI and Telnet or whatever, like, oh yeah, but I not everybody knows how to do that. Not everybody knows that you can like say CD and then drag in a folder. They don't know all that stuff, and they don't need to know that. Like, stop gatekeeping. And in this case, all I wanted to do was make an EPUB, and it offered to me, oh, hey, by the way, did you know you can put this YAML stuff at the top? For example, author, date, etc. And did you know that you could do cover.jpg? I was like, I didn't know that. That had not occurred to me. Or whatever it was, image, or whatever it is, something like that. It worked great. Exported. Boom. Done. Finished. Now, it didn't get the Mark II thing right on the first try because it doesn't have all information in the world at all times. But we collaborated. And I said, hey, look, I don't see EPUB. And I figured it could be because I've got the SetApp version. Like, I don't know why. Or like, Mac Whisper versus Whisper, transcription. There's those kinds of things that happen. I don't care. I'm not asking it to be perfect. I'm asking it to keep my velocity of moving forward with what I'm trying to accomplish. Why am I succeeding with that? Well, I've been lucky. But also, I let go and I let God. You know what I didn't do? I didn't go in there and say, hi, I'm Merlin Mann, and I used to be Merlin Mann, and I have a book. And blah, I want my book to be, and it's very important that the book have be typeset in blah, and biggity blah, blah. I said, what's the fastest way to make an EPUB? And about 20 minutes later, I posted it. And I put it in my repo, and I shared it with people, and now people can have it. Again, like I said a few weeks ago, or I said in that blog post, I now am in possession of information I did not have last week. And right now, I'm in receipt of information I didn't have 24 hours ago. And some of you, y'all fuckers who I love, now have a copy of the book to read on your device. And I was able to go in and say stuff like, look, I don't want to fuss too much with the overwriting of this. Please just make the title of the exported document, wisdom dash Unix date stamp. So now anytime I export it in the future, there will not only be a non-collision, of file names, but potentially I've got something kind of like versions with a Unix date stamp in it that tells it when I made it. Like everything's coming up Milhouse, and I think it's exciting. As far as other things I captured, not a ton. It's mainly that I benefited a lot this week from stuff it's known in the past. But the thing we haven't talked about yet, if you don't mind, and we're running super long now. You sent me a text, a screenshot. And what did it say? Basically, you had just gotten a new improvement to memory?
Yeah,
You're testing memory improvements. I don't know if I've gotten this.
Mm-hmm, and I don't know how.
Because I think it's been around for a couple of weeks for me.
I think that you were, if you haven't seen this, you were already in it, especially if you have been asking.
Oh, no, I'm like fucking Augustus Gloop. I can't get that shit in my mouth fast enough. As soon as I see anything like that, I'm like, I'm getting in my face. So I probably just clicked away and just did it immediately.
I think I might have not updated the app or something, and so I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I think this will probably help explain it. I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh,
I'm so self-involved, Alex. I don't mean to be that way.
No.
Sweetie.
Your testing memory improvements, ChatGPT now uses all past chats, which again, I think most people had that, and for some reason I didn't.
Yeah, I just sent you the personalization submenu. I went to command, comma, settings in this weird iOS looking menu. Go down to personalization, and what I just sent you is a screen grab. There's a section called memory where it says reference saved memories, and below that is manage memories. Now, this is apparently different from the overt stuff you can go in. There's another area you can go to. We can look up later if we want to, but that's where it says, hi, I'm Merlin Mann. I was born at this hospital. Blah, blah, blah. And there's that stuff. This is hilarious. Have you gone to save memories recently?
Yes.
It's really funny. Because there's stuff in there. I mean, some of it's really funny. Merlin has, Merlin has an Arturia Minilab 3 keyboard, which he got on November 22nd, 2024. Merlin, these are I'm really just literally reading you lines. And is there a date stamp for each of these? There is not. You ready for a new one? Merlin is working on Roderick on the Line. Merlin really likes the song Quintet from West Side Story. Merlin has a KitchenAid mixer. Billy loves the musicals Something Rotten and Six. Merlin prefers the term back to indicate returning to a previous level of discussion, typically where a digression began rather than a single topic recap. Oh shit, this is funny. Did I tell you what I mean? Did I tell you about my dossier of Billy? Did I ever tell you? I don't think I did.
No, definitely.
There's a bunch of stuff in here from my Billy dossier. This is 16% for Christmas and birthday ideas, but 84% just for me and fun. I love that movie. Where I wrote up a little thing about Billy, and I said, what I initially said was something I still have not gotten it to do consistently. I wish I should teach it this. Where there's a number of times when I've said to ChatGPT, I think you'll get this. I said, I want you to be a step-by-step wizard for me, like a wizard in the sense of stepping through like a questionnaire So there's an end state that I want, which is X. But to get to that end state, instead of just asking you a few questions and then doing stuff, I want you to walk me through, and listen closely, because this actually gets kind of fucking cool. Normally you'd say to somebody, oh yeah, you go to Wizard, you walk through, like, how old are you? Click radio button. What is your height in inches? Click radio button. From these 6 things, pick 3 of your favorite genres, like a wizard, and it's going to walk you through it, or like an onboarding, as some people now say. But when I say wizard, I don't mean like Merlin the magician. I mean like a wizard and so I said, I want you to walk me through the kinds of questions that give you the information you need to answer this. I said, but here's the thing, each time I say this, I also want you to be constantly reintegrating what you already know, which changes this a little bit. In other words, I want the kinds of questions you ask me to get better and better I don't want you to consider question 30 based on what you knew at question 1. I want you to be asking question 30 based on what you know from questions 1 through 29.
Huh.
Which makes I'm asking it to be a little bit tighter about this. And I say, my kid's got a birthday and Christmas coming up, and I want you to be a wizard who walks me through asking questions. And I said, at any time that I want to add more, I will add more, and that'll work out fine. So we walk through a lot of, honestly, mostly pretty, boring stuff about my kid. But it was fucking brilliant. And I'm going somewhere with this that I think will lead to an exercise that I would really love us to do in the after show. So, you know what I mean? And so walk me through, like, what kind of music, what does the kid like to do, da-da-da-da. You follow, like you do, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it was done, I said, what was it I said? I said something like, now please, in 1,000 words, prepare a dossier describing my kid. And it wrote up this like an obit, basically. It was really cool. I asked it to describe what it now knows about my kid, and it did it, and it was really neat. And what I would like us to do in the after show is to, because I've done it a bunch of different ways, I think it would be fun for us to talk about all the different, some of them are very easy. Anybody right now, and you don't have to listen to the after show, if you go to giveusyourfuckingmoney.com and help support the show, you can just go right now. And here's a really easy dumb one, right? Go to ChatGPT, logged in, and say, tell me everything you know about me. No, that's not believe me, that's far from the best way to ask. But if you could just say to it, tell me everything you know about me, and you might find it intriguing. You could also say, if you're me, show me everything you know I own. Or have, however you want to put it.
I don't like that.
No, but just stay with me. Or this is where I want you guys to get more creative in thinking about your quote-unquote relationship. Think of a movie I've never told you that I've seen or liked that I've never. Basically, tell me a movie that I would like and why you think I would like it. Stuff like this. Make it show its work a little bit. And again, always frequently, sometimes always never. Go in and say, you could say briefly, or I've had good experience with giving it a certain number of words. Right. I think, 500 words sounds short until you see it over and over. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you tell it for each request, like how long you want it to be. But let's see if I can find this. I will search for Billy 6. See if I can find some other things that would bring it up. Gift ideas for Billy. Yeah, here we go. Here's where it started. Based on our discussion, suggest some presents for Billy. Yeah. Billy's interests and needs. Here's the original thread. Let's see if I can find how it started. In this thread, okay, you ready?
Yes,
this is from my Christmas 2024 project. In this thread, you will act as a selection wizard. You will ask me questions about how Billy is and what he likes. The goal will be for you to identify and receive information that will help you offer good suggestions. Where should we start? And then I kept going through. Later on, I said, okay, remember, you're a wizard. You will prepare any questions. And then one at a time, you will ask me to respond, and you will constantly synthesize and integrate new information to affect the direction of the inquiry. Inquiry the first. What does he like to do? I said he does a lot of homework, which he loves doing. He listens to a lot of music and podcasts, reads voraciously, he has an internship at Alcatraz, da-da-da-da. And then we got deeper into, like, what kind of stuff did they like? I went into his room. I took a photo of his primary collectibles area and said, identify everything in this photo.
Cool.
And it's able to go like, oh, what's the one on Letterman? That's Nico Rakasumi, and that's like the girl in the dress, and that's Lady Brienne, and like that's Iron Giant, and da 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 da. I said, well, like, just incorporate all of this into what you know, right? These are some musicals that he likes, and then I basically had to prepare a dossier, and I think it'd be fun for us to do that ourselves.
I agree. And
It suggested tickets to Drunk Shakespeare. It suggested, let's see, Pillars of the Earth by Ken. Oh wait, no, he already read that one. That was one of my suggestion ones.
I did something similar where I took a picture of Matt's sticker collection.
Oh no shit! Oh my God, Alex, that's perfect.
Yeah. I'm like,
without saying, how many stickers are we talking about?
Oh, like 12, 13.
So
like
over
a
10.
lot of them are overlapping. Yeah.
There's
and
no way Chatty G has any context for what a lot of them even mean. Probably.
Right. And I just said, hey, can you give me suggestions for stickers that are similar to this? And then it was like, oh, it looks like I can't find it. It's really old. I think I deleted it from memory because it was it kind of was part of a dossier of like all the media Matt likes because it's a sticker like fandom thing on his laptop. And then gave me a suggestion on where to get stickers in Chicago and ones he might like. And then I have a cute, I'll get it in notes, a cute little prescription. It looks like a little prescription bottle with cats coming out of it, and it's a prescription.
Oh, that is cute.
And it's so cringe, and he loves it so much. And I'm like,
here's one thing.
yay!
Here's one thing to think about. I feel like is something I've actually accused ChatGPT of having a problem with. A lot of times, we as people know we know things, but we don't know what we know, or we don't know what we know in a given context. And so, there's one kind of parlor trick that you can show people that's kind of cool, that works pretty well, which is like take a picture of like a location and it identifies it, right? That's pretty cool. That's been around for a while. Or ask it, there's those kinds of parlor tricks. A more sophisticated parlor trick is a collaboration where you say, hey, this is my spouse, spouse's stickers. I want you to give me some ideas for a birthday present based on these stickers. If you don't understand anything or have questions, let me know. Like, encourage it to interact with you instead of just going like it's Karnak and it's going to hold the card up to its head and be able to guess. Because that is a cute one kind of parlor trick. But a deeper kind of parlor trick is to be prepared to interact with it. And guess what? Now it's going to remember that stuff about your partner. And it'll be able to say things like, next time you're in this such and such place, you might want to pop into this bookstore nearby. I mean, how far away is that future? And it's because you've gone in with good faith and collaboration to talk about the ways that you want your life to be in some ways. I think it's awesome. So maybe one project doesn't have, mini challenge in the after show, we'll talk about different ways to learn what it know about us.
Different dossier. I tried to do a rhyme. Nope, it's not happening.
Were you trying to rhyme different or dossier?
Fun. Dossier.
Oh, this dossier is Glossier. It's Glossier than that one.
Glossier. No, Nobel. Nobel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you should get an editor, sweetie.
That was a good timing.